I grew up in Switzerland, and from time to time I'd still go back there. You can see my parents' house through the gap in the trees. It recently snowed. And when it snowed, I took the opportunity to go for a walk in the woods. The camera work is shaky, as you can see, and you can probably hear the shutter struggling to adjust on my ancient camera. But walking in the woods in the snow is different, and I think that made it worthy of certainly recording, and if I may be so bold, maybe sharing as well. It was the kind of snow you get when it's not particularly cold, not really cold enough to snow anyway. It was maybe 1 or 2 degrees, and it was melting quickly. At one point I came across this log laying across the path. It wasn't really blocking my path. I can, and did, step right over it. But it felt like a symbolic block, like the assets they use in a video game to show you that this isn't the way to go, even though your character could easily have navigated it. And then I decided to forego the path altogether. It was a far greater sense of adventure to roam through the woods off the beaten path, dodging branches and fancying myself as a kind of B-Tech Indiana Jones. See how I was dressed for proof of this. I think there's something fascinating about moving through the woods off the trail, especially being in the snow. I've walked in these woods dozens of times, if not hundreds. Not very big, a few 100 meters on a side and crisscrossed with trails. I know my way around it excellently, and yet, cast in a new light by the experience of snow, I found myself unsure of where I was, slightly lost. And it makes you feel as though you're on a quest. And I was on a quest. It was a quest to find this lookout spot. Looks like a tree house that someone ran out of materials to build, but these are very common in Switzerland. During Validsites, that time of year when fresh game is available in certain restaurants, hunters use them to sit and wait for game to appear. But when it's not used for game, it's just in a nice place to sit and watch the world. In making this video, I wanted to express something about trying to make life feel like an RPG. But I don't think that's the message I want to convey now that I come to make it. For one thing, it's rather trite, and despite the way I'm talking, I am going to try and avoid sounding trite. But for another, life's not like an RPG. And this certainly isn't. Even if I do get surprise attacked in a random encounter. Really, I just experienced a small moment of beauty and wonder and quiet, and I wanted to capture it. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and I wanted to give a quick shout out to having a fire after getting cold in the snow. It's pretty great.